In 1845, two massive ships sailed into the white void and never returned. 129 men, the best of the British Empire, simply evaporated. For nearly 2 centuries, the world asked one question: what killed them? Was it the cold, the starvation, or something inside the ships? This is the true story of the HMS Terror and the nightmare of the ice. They left England with enough food to last 3 years. The ships were technological marvels, reinforced with iron to crush the Arctic. Captain Franklin believed nature could be conquered by steam and wood. But the Arctic does not care about human engineering. They entered Baffin Bay, and the door slammed shut behind them. The temperatures dropped. The sea turned into solid granite. By September, the Erebus and the Terror were no longer ships. They were wooden islands, trapped in a frozen desert. The crew settled in for the winter, expecting a thaw in spring. But the spring never came. The ice didn't melt. Summer of 1846 brought only gray skies and harder ice. The silence of the Arctic began to weigh on their minds. Inside the hull, a silent killer was waking up. Their food supply, thousands of tins of preserved meat. The contractor had rushed the job. The lead soldering was sloppy. Every meal they ate was a dose of neurotoxin. Lead poisoning doesn't just kill the body, it breaks the mind. Paranoia set in. The men began to hear things in the wind. Discipline frayed. The hierarchy of the Royal Navy dissolved. Then the first deaths, not from cold, but from within. They buried them in the permafrost, preserving the bodies perfectly. By 1848, the ships had been trapped for 3 winters. Captain Crozier made a desperate decision: abandon ship. They would walk to civilization, hundreds of miles across hell. They loaded heavy lifeboats with useless items. The lead in their brains made them cling to symbols of home. Man-hauling 1,000-pound boats over ice ridges shattered them. One by one, they dropped, and they did not get up. As starvation took hold, the unthinkable happened. Cut marks on the bones found years later told the grim truth. They were eating the dead to fuel the dying. The local Inuit saw them. They called them spirits. Strange men dragging wood, falling and never rising. The trail of the dead stretched for miles. The last few survivors made it to a place called Starvation Cove. There, they waited for a rescue that was years away. The silence returned to the Arctic. Search parties found only skeletons and cryptic notes. The fate of the Franklin expedition remained a mystery for 170 years, until 2014, when sonar picked up a ghost. The Erebus was found in shallow water, then the Terror. It was in pristine condition, preserved by the freezing water. The captain's cabin window was open, as if waiting for the crew to return. The Franklin expedition teaches us a terrifying lesson. Technology cannot save you from the primal world. Those 129 men walked into the white and became part of it. The ice didn't just kill them, it kept them. Buried in the white tomb at the top of the world, and there, in the cold, dark deep, they still remain.